Hello and welcome to Steampunk Abyss Devlog 2. I'm super excited to show you what we've done this week. We've actually got quite a few things done. A lot of it is kind of back end, so there's still plenty to show, but a lot of it is still a little bit unpolished. You can actually play this current build that I'm going to be showing off. I actually just uploaded it, so yeah, if you want to stop by the Discord, you can start playing. So, the biggest change you'll see for the hub, we're going to start there. Oh, and I forgot, I'm going to apologize just a bit. My voice might sound a bit weird today. I do have a bit of a cold, so if I sound a bit different, that's why. Yeah, so as I was saying, in the hub, let's start with the store. So far, I've got most of the back end done. We don't actually have any items to buy yet. That's what I'll be adding before the next devlog to kind of show off what it will be doing. But for now, we kind of got the basic interactions, finished and the back end done, so we can just focus on adding content. I will warn you, the art isn't done for these yet. I just threw it together, so it is programmer art. Our artist will be working on that, and yeah. So for now, gosh dang it, fetch. As you'll notice, there is a bit of glitch. I actually know why. The GUI isn't actually scaling properly right now. I do have that tracking, and I'm working on it. It should be done soon, but these buttons will be aligned. And so each time you come into the hub, there'll be two random items from your pool. You unlock new items for the pool through leveling, interacting with new enemies. Will also have a chance to add to the pool, and a few other ways that we're going to dive into deeper later in development. But you can click and the buttons animate and flip normally, but you can't really see it because of that issue. I should hopefully have that fixed in the next couple days, and I'll put out a patch. I'll let you know through the Discord when that's live. And then, yeah, you just press the X to exit. During that time, you can't move or interact, of course, because you're in a menu. One of the other features you'll notice is we updated the chest sprites. I kind of got this here just as a test. We use the hub a lot for testing, so as we go through this, you might occasionally see in the builds there'll be a random enemy that's new or something, just sitting kind of here in the black area or something. So yeah, that's kind of what here, but we've got the basic chest now. Our artist is still working on the silver and the gold versions, but yeah, we got the nice new sprite. Then I did add a credits button. This will eventually be part of the main menu and look a lot nicer, but I wanted to start thanking our supporters right now. And as you can see, we got Pal Polarized here, who actually just donated to our Patreon. So we wanted to give him a shout out. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for supporting the team. Okay, so before we dive into what's changed in the Abyss, which actually is fairly minor, a few things with the generation and one of the enemies. But I wanted to kind of talk about the lore. We did a poll in the last week and kind of asked what kind of lore you guys want to hear about. And this week the winner was Dax. So we're going to dive in a little bit into her backstory. So as I mentioned on the previous video, Dax's mother was the one who was responsible for the death of the runners of the previous Aeon. Because of this, the town treated her very poorly for a long time. There was only one person she could really rely on, and that was Jebediah Cobb, who was actually a survivor of those events, the only runner who was able to escape. You know, looking at him as kind of her mentor and her father figure, together they began to recreate some of the technology he had learned about while running the Abyss. And that's how they were able to develop the ability to remote pilot these automatons, which led to the creation of the Abyss pilots. So Jebediah is actually very much against her running the Abyss, but he understands that she's looking for some kind of closure to clear her name and gain that respect, because while she is treated poorly, she does love her city. The only other person in the city that Dax really has to rely on is the shopkeeper Primrose. Back when her mother died, she stayed with her for a while, and she kind of helped her through the emotional loss of her mother as well as the mistreatment of the city. And when Dax lost her arm in an accident later in life, she actually provided a lot of the technology that she used to build the prosthetic free of charge, even though she couldn't afford it, and it was very, very expensive technology. A lot of our lore is going to be kind of told both in the city by communicating with people, or we're going to build up a lot of detail through a combination of their portrait pictures that will appear in the chat boxes, as well as the dialogue options you have with them. One thing you'll learn about Dax through the story is her aptitude with this ancient technology. Because she had no one her age or to really, be friends with, she spent a lot of time examining the old tech, and that combined with her relationship with Primrose and with Jebediah gave her the perfect outlet to become an expert. She's the foremost expert on this kind of technology, even at her young age, because of this event. Okay, let's dive into the Abyss, and I'll kind of lay out how we'll be telling this story, how we'll be giving you these narrative elements. And I'll kind of also point out the minor changes we've made to the generation and a couple of fixes and new things we've added. So you should notice I did change up the generation, so we should hopefully have more large rooms. It seems to be working so far. Ooh, let's get this guy. Yeah, and while I explore and try to find what I'm looking for, I'll kind of explain to you how the story structure of this game will work. So in the hub, you will have the dialogue options. You'll be able to build those relationships and build your personal narrative with those characters. On the other hand, while you're in the abyss, you have a chance of finding story items, artifacts of the past, be they journals or uh, consoles with information about the abyss. You'll learn about past runners, their lives, their deaths. You'll learn about what happened to the world, the history of the abyss, who built it and why, what its purpose is, and why it's hostile to the citizens of Duck Point. Okay, we actually have one of the enemies here that I made some pretty major changes to. If a few of you may have noticed that these didn't really have stats. You used to be able to walk through their bullets, but this week I was able to get that patched. They do now have stats and can die. Thank goodness, because yeah, it's kind of annoying to try to shoot an enemy and then they don't die. There still is a few glitches with them, as you'll notice. I can only shoot the head right now, but they now do damage, so now they actually contribute to the gameplay. There we go. We'll be patching the issue with the body later this week when I release the update for the GUI issue too. Okay, I think that's the biggest changes to the Abyss. Yeah, I think that's about it for today. So I thank you. Oh, hello. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.